Jennifer. And talking about the winds brought down many of our leaves yesterday, we'll break down some of the peak wind gusts, plus if the wind will be an issue today.
Paying tribute to the 11 lives lost, thousands gather in Pittsburgh from all different faiths to help the city begin to heal. Plus, breaking news, a Boeing airliner crashes into the ocean shortly after takeoff in Indonesia. The new details we've just learned. We will have those stories, plus the latest on your breaking news, weather and traffic as Good Morning Tri-State at 4:30 starts right now.
9 on your side starts now.
Good morning on this Monday, October 29th. I'm Julie O'Neill. We start with a check of your 9 first warning forecast with meteorologist Jennifer Ketchmark.
Good morning, Julie. So no rain to worry about this morning. The winds are slowing down. We're not quite done with that yet, but it is 48 degrees here in the city along with Alexandria and Florence. Lebanon starts at 47, so not the coldest morning we've seen in the last couple of days, but winds have now shifted more to the west-northwest and coming in at 11 miles per hour here in town still makes it a little bit of a breezy start to your day, but winds will slow down with time and clouds are actually going to decrease as well. We'll eventually end up partly cloudy this afternoon with a high of 57 degrees. It's below normal. I've got warmth and a potentially tricky Halloween forecast. We'll break it all down coming up. First, though, Jacqueline, let's check in with you to see how things are shaping up on this early Monday morning on the roads.
Hey, so far so good, Jen. Our 9 first warning traffic map is clear. We're not seeing reports of any accidents out there, but we'll keep an eye on it, of course, and let you know if that changes. Out to some of our live traffic cameras, I-75 right around GE and the Evendale area. Everything is moving there at a pretty good pace as well. So far we're off to a pretty good start. Of course, if any of that changes, we will let you know. And coming up just ahead, we'll get a look at all of your drive times heading into downtown.
All right, Jacqueline, and as Jennifer was saying, dangerous wind whipped through the tri-state last night. A man is in critical condition this morning after this tree fell on his pickup truck on Buell Road in Colerain Township. Firefighters had to cut the roof off of this truck to get the man out. People from Lebanon to Anderson were reporting trees down in their neighborhoods yesterday. Thousands of Duke Energy customers remain without power. As of last night, the power started going out. Good news this morning as we take a live look at where those outages were. Right now, only about 200 customers are in the dark right now. Power should be restored by 7 this morning for those customers, according to Duke. Breaking right now, Indonesia investigators are searching through debris after a Boeing 737 crashes into the sea near Jakarta. 189 people were on board that plane. This is a live look at the crash site. How sad is this to look at all of the people peering over that water? The flight lost contact with ground control and vanished right after it took off. Items believed to belong to passengers have been found floating in this water, including ID cards and cell phones. It's not clear at this hour whether anyone possibly survived this crash. Breaking this morning, a dog is rescued from this house fire in North College Hill. You saw all the lights there. It happened shortly after 2 in the morning along Pin Oak Drive. Fire crews tell 9 on your side they think the fire started in the basement. Right now, it's not clear how many people were inside or whether anyone was hurt. We'll continue to follow. Breaking overnight, 6 people rescued after a fire breaks out inside this apartment building. This happened around 11 last night in the 8300 block of Anthony Wayne Avenue in Hartwell. 2 people were treated for smoke inhalation at the scene. Crews say food left unattended on a stove sparked the flames. 1 person was displaced from this fire.
Pittsburgh's a strong town. We are a resilient city. We have been knocked down and we have found ways to stand back up.
A city absolutely in mourning after a man commits what is considered to be the deadliest anti-Semitic attack in U.S. history. Pittsburgh's mayor saying Saturday was a dark day, but it will not define them. ABC's Maggie Rulli is in Pittsburgh right now and has the latest on the victims.
As soon as he came into the lobby, he opened fire.
Saturday services at the Tree of Life Synagogue were interrupted by gunfire. The gunman, 46-year-old Robert Bowers, armed with an AR-15 assault rifle and handguns, said to be hurling words of hate against Jews as he murdered them.
Suspects talking about all these Jews need to die. still communicating with them.
The city of Pittsburgh left reeling in a vigil Sunday honoring the 11 victims ranging in age from 54 to 97. Among them, 2 brothers, a family doctor, and a husband and wife married at that same synagogue more than 60 years ago.
We're here to support the Jewish community. What was done yesterday was not just harmful to the Jewish community, but really a continuation of the challenges we have in the U.S.
Police say the suspect was not on their radar and had no record, but releasing chilling details about the man behind the rampage fueled by hate. The introduction to his social media page says it all. Jews are the children of Satan.
We stand together as a community that rejects hatred and violence.
Just an hour before the deadly assault, Bowers posted on the fringe social media site Gab, which is popular among white supremacists, writing, "I can't sit by and watch my people get slaughtered. Screw your optics, I'm going in."
I think this is another example of hate in our country that just doesn't go away.
The mayor called Saturday the darkest day in Pittsburgh's history. That suspect was injured in a shootout with police and then taken into custody, and now prosecutors want to seek the death penalty. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Take a look at the Empire State Building, or what is known as the Tower of Light right now. Dark overnight to remember those who lost their lives. Standing with those who are grieving right now in Pittsburgh, Pope Francis is condemning the deadly shooting rampage. Yesterday, the Pope called the attack an inhuman act of violence. He also offered his condolences to the Jewish community and prayed for an end to outbreaks of hate in societies. The local reaction to this tragedy has been powerful. Hundreds of people and members from every synagogue in Cincinnati gathering to grieve, to mourn, and to stand in solidarity. Brianna Malloy was at one vigil and shows the emotions rippling through the community.
When Shep Englander thinks about the shooting, he's met with flashing lights in his old neighborhood.
My children and I walked past that synagogue most Saturdays.
Before he moved and became the CEO of Cincinnati's Jewish Federation, his family also lived and worshipped in Squirrel Hill.
You know, I can close my eyes and see the inside of that synagogue.
When Rabbi Miriam Turlin-Champ thinks about the shooting, she's met with the voices of scared congregants.
I think one of the hardest things as a clergy person I had to do was to call my teachers and parents before Sunday school and say, tomorrow we're going to be brave. And we're going to step back into the synagogue.
Like Turlin-Champ and Englander, more than 1,000 people streamed into today's vigil with their own stories.
When one Jew suffers, all Jews suffer.
When the service ran out of chairs, people started sitting on the floor. When they ran out of floor space, people began standing outside.
Every single one of us felt this.
Rabbis left their podiums and gave second sermons to people standing along the curb.
A whole range of emotions that are happening for all of us right now.
And even though each person came with their own pain, they left with the strength of knowing they're not alone.
When these things happen and remind us of how small we are, it's very hard then to be big. And so that's also what tonight's about.
Brianna Malloy, 9 on your side.
We will continue to follow the latest developments and have updates here on air, online, over at WCPO.com and anytime on WCPO Mobile. Grieving their celebration in Boston, still going on after the Red Sox defeat the Los Angeles Dodgers in Game 5 of the World Series.
Comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series.
The final pitch as the Red Sox celebrate their 4th World Championship in just 14 years. MVP Steve Pearce hit 2 home runs as the Sox beat the Dodgers 5-1. Pearce joins Red slugger Ted Kluszewski and Babe Ruth as the only 35-year-olds or older to have multiple home run games in the World Series.
Yeah, that's great company. You know, those guys are the best, and you know, if my name gets to sit right next to theirs, I mean, I know I've accomplished something.
How precious is that little girl? Madeira High School grad Andrew Benintendi also joins Pearce as a World Series champion. I know a lot of you in Madeira are waking up excited for him. For the Dodgers, the 2nd straight year of reaching the World Series only to lose. Jennifer.
Exciting stuff out there in Boston. Well, we had a pretty windy day yesterday. It took a while for the winds to finally get here, but once they did, CVG saw wind gusts at 46 miles per hour. At the Warren County Airport at 46, and even at Crestview, 37 degrees. So this caused a little bit of damage yesterday. Today, it won't be this windy, but we've got another system brewing. I'll break it down coming up.
Very good. Up next, we are getting a look at the suspected serial bomber while he was sending 14 bombs via mail, putting multiple cities on edge.